before 3 o'clock, before the event started, and I was approached and by a police officer, and he started asking me what was I coming up there for, and I said, I'm it's an open area, and I'm coming up here to speak at this event, and then he started talking about, well, if you're going to stay here, then we were going to give you a ticket, and my position was, well, give me the ticket, I don't care, it really doesn't make a difference to me because I'm going to stay here and speak. And then he asked me what my nationality was. Now, I think he thought that I was probably a African immigrant, and he probably would, maybe go check and see whether or not I had my papers. And I just said, well, look, I got an American passport and I got an Irish passport. So you write the ticket up any way you want to. I really don't care. So, he gave me the ticket, and, I stayed there and I spoke. So, like I said, my issue related to the whole thing is the fact that there's not consistency. To me, it was a double standard. Mm-hmm. If there was consistency and you gave out as many tickets as you could, and you're doing the same thing at other events, then I don't think, anybody would have anything to say unless everybody in all of the events came out together and said that thought this wasn't fair. Yeah. And the fact that the organizers went above and beyond what they were asked to do. They were 3 meters apart. They were giving out PPE equipment, and so they were doing everything that they were required to do to adhere to the social distances to reduce, the coronavirus concern. Mm-hmm. Part of the problems here is, you've got the two main groups, and they tend to appease both sides. For a prime example, about 3 weeks ago, there was an issue in West Belfast where they had a fire. They were doing a bonfire. I forgot what it was related to, but the PSNI were out there in droves, and they were told to not instigate anything. And what happened? A lot of the PSNI got injured. Mm-hmm. Now, why is it that for an event like that, and you got people breaking the law, throwing Molotov cocktails at you, doing everything they can that's illegal, and you don't arrest not one person? You stand there and you let your police officers get hit and beat up, and then we're out at a peaceful protest and you're giving out tickets. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, it's a double standard, and it's not acceptable. I've been living in Northern Ireland. I've been coming to Northern Ireland since 1988. I've not had many racial incidences here. I've only had one, and that was during the 12th. I was down at one of the events on the 12th, and a couple of guys made some comments, and my wife told me, don't act like I'm back in America and go after them and just ignore them, which is what I did. Because I normally don't. Except you want to make a comment or an accusation, then you're going to have to stand up and take the consequences of what you say. But my wife just said, just overlook it and keep on moving. So that's what I did. But in general, I've never had any major problems in Northern Ireland. I'm actually, I work with several charities. I'm on the Asoni board now. I used to be on it for about 8 years, and I'm on it again. And when I was on it the first time, I was actually on the PSNI Ethnic Minority Forum. So, they were doing things trying to integrate and help but balance things off between the ethnic minorities and the PSNI. Yeah. So it's not a question that they have not been trying to do things. I'm not sure whether or not that forum is still going on, but, this is when I was working with Patrick Yu and Asoni, and I was elected as a member to attend those meetings.